Greetings everyone and a warm welcome. Thank you for joining me for July's reading. Libra, this is your reading. These 3 decks are the ones we will be using, 3 cards from each, which should give us a comprehensive reading. Before we start on the cards, I did some intuitive work for you, and guys, you got the message about time. It seems like you might be gazing into time. So whether or not time is playing a role for you in July, whether you feel you don't have time or you're wondering about time as in moving forward or what time is even all about, is also about balance required. So physical balance as well as emotional, and perhaps that's where the time thing comes in, balancing your time and how much time you've got to spend on certain aspects of life. There is also things about gazing into the future, possibly about your career and relationships, and that you seem to possibly spend a bit of time on thinking and contemplation. It also suggested to try meditation and to listen and look around you for the month of July, and you might find answers if you're listening to what you hear from either others or your higher self as well. Let's start with the cards. I think we have these ones first. So Libra, shuffling for your intent now. See what these Oracle energy cards are going to bring for your reading for July 2018. It could be a relatively big month because there are some unusual planetary alignments as well as the eclipses energies are around. So this is for Libra. Attachment. The 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, which is the heart chakra, and strategy. Let's see what the John Holland Psychic Tarot cards have to offer. For Libra. Rejoice and celebration, that's the 3 of Cups. Hope, number 17, which is the Star card, which is always nice to have in a reading. And number 11, the Balance card, which is the Justice card. So 2 major arcanas that have come out there. And the Justice card is often referred to as the Libran card energy anyhow. Okay, this is for Libra. The High Priestess, Strength, and the 10 of Cups. So you've got a nice mixture of cards going on there. A few major arcana ones have turned up because we have the High Priestess, Strength, the Star, and the Balance card here, the Justice card. So quite a powerful reading, and we did sort of expect that as well. I also noticed that the Star card is the middle card in the reading, which is actually touching all of the other cards from one perspective or another. So I think from your angle, having that card in the very middle is a very fortuitous and positive, energetic card, giving off, as it says, hope for all other dimensions and perspectives of the reading and of perhaps the events occurring in July. So if we start from over on this side, reading down the columns, however, as I say to everyone else, the readings are very mutable and you can transfer the messages from any particular paradigm or perspective that actually feels right for you. So it's quite important that you interpret your own feeling and put it towards whatever card is calling to you or talking to you at the same time. So starting off with the top card, number 5, surrounded in those beautiful crystals at the top, the attachment card, it does often refer to being attached to something or someone and having this kind of almost obsessive tendency around it. So it can be suggestive of saying that something you're attached to is preventing you from either seeing an aspect or a pathway in the clear light, or from seeing it in its truth. So sometimes we wear rose-coloured glasses, is that saying, and we think that what we're seeing is, oh wow, this is really great, or this is the right choice for me, or this is the right selection, or the perfect relationship, or yada yada. And it's not, because you're just not quite looking from far enough back. Now, quite often the card on the top right, the strategy card, is exactly what's needed to utilize when we have an attachment. We need to put more strategy into viewing it and looking at it from a bigger perspective and a bigger picture than our small limited angle that we're viewing it from. But it's really interesting that underneath it you've got this rejoice and celebration going on. So perhaps some of you are attached to a certain feeling or pleasure or event that's coming, and you're looking forward to it, and because of that you might be focusing on something specifically and not seeing the rest of stuff that is going on. So it doesn't just have to mean that you are overtly focusing on something to the detriment of its outcome. It can mean that you're focusing on something too much and not seeing the rest of the picture of other things in your life. So you're not giving the other things balance. And we talked about requiring balance in the month of July. This is a generally happy card. It's referred to as the sisterhood of life, you know, the values of nurturing, love, compassion, enjoyment, happy. So it can often represent outings or functions or occasions, such as an engagement or going to a reunion or family or school reunion, or just catching up with people that you haven't seen in a long time, whose company you really value and cherish and enjoy. So there is a possibility that that could be part of the whole perspective. Perhaps some of you are going to catch up with friends you haven't seen in such a long time, and you're just really excited at the prospect of this. So this could be what this attachment is. Perhaps they were friends from many years back and you've never let go of the attachment. But things might be different too when you revisit the situation. We come down here to the High Priestess, and we've still got this really feminine energy coming in. So for some of you, you might experience that whole more female perspective of the cycle of life, and that is the more emotional side, I suppose. So the connection to the heart and the feelings of love and warmth and caring and nurture and compassion. She has the moon under her feet, which talks to us a little bit about ecliptical energies coming in and being affected by the moon's cycles. This can also reference being more psychic and intuitive, and seemingly becoming full of or anointed with wisdom of some sort. So she holds the Torah on her lap, and this is a great esoteric knowledge of information, a wealth of information that the High Priestess seems to have. So there's a possibility that either you yourself are awakening to a perspective or a dynamic of this type of energy in your life, and it might become even more fluid and profound as July moves into place, and also as the rest of the year continues. Or there's a possibility that this type of person is around you. She often exudes the energy of someone with wisdom and insight and celestial knowledge and energetic vibration. She can also be someone possibly new coming into your life that is a potential partner, as in a romantic liaison. And this can be quite a sexually activated engagement. And this card can also represent fertility. So fertility as in conception of a child or a pregnancy, but also fertility in the conception of ideas and creative forces. So the starting of new projects and the beginning and the power and the passion of such like. It could be that you're attached to something along those lines, or your attachment could be focused around this whole new energy that you're looking for or seeking to uplift or push further in your life as well. But generally the attachment card itself says to balance it out more and to view it from a greater perspective, to broaden your horizon around a certain dynamic that you're looking at. If we come to this next row, we see the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, and we're in the heart area. So for some of you, this could mean the physical heart. So some of you may be requiring heart health checks, things like blood pressure or cholesterol or a physical heart examination. Some of you may have pains in and around that part of your body, the chest, the lungs, or the heart area. Or for ladies, you know, the breasts. Some of you might have a breast examination or something along those lines as well. So this card can represent 2 different perspectives, that of the, well, more than that, because we can be talking spiritual as well. But indeed, for some of you, it's referencing the physical body and that area of your body. For some of you, it's referencing the healing of that part of your body. So some of you may have had work done there on the lungs or the breasts or the heart area, and you're going through a process of some healing. Now, if that's the case, Archangel Raphael is a beautiful healer, very calming and cathartic and gentle. So perhaps you can call on Archangel Raphael to bring in physical body healing. And if any of you are also going through emotional trauma of the heart, whether it be wounded pain from relationships or feeling as though your soul isn't connected, or as though your heart chakra is blocked and there's a lack of flow around love and compassion and emotions and relationships in your life, you can also ask Raphael for healing from that perspective. And coming down to the next card, the Star card. The Star is a beautiful card to have, and it often in the traditional tarot decks talks about having celestial helpers around you at the moment, especially like your own guardian angel, as well as other archangels. And of course, how beautiful that we have Archangel Raphael above it, embellishing this energy even more. There is something for some of you coming in the month, that there's a healing, there's a compassion or a real awakening, or you'll feel it in your heart, almost physically, even if it's not a physical thing that you're addressing. If it's an emotional thing, you'll actually feel this energy around your heart, and it could be like the healing of some past pain within relationships, one way or another. The Star card gives us great hope for many different perspectives in life, but it definitely references the fact that there are celestial interventions taking place around you at this time. It also does talk to us about the need for balance, and we mentioned that in the very beginning as well. So balance for you guys, and we definitely see it like with that attachment card as well, is something that you need to have in the back of your mind. And of course we've even got it right next door to it. So you're balancing something out, and I think quite a lot of it is emotional for some of you and possibly spiritual, and then for others there's this whole physical perspective of balancing. The Strength card underneath, another really powerful card. So that whole column in the middle seems to shine out, obviously because of the Star card and also the yellow and the Strength. But it seems to really jump out as being a great focus for the month. This Strength card can often reference the regaining of strength after a bad health period, coming back to feeling more in alignment, understanding your own personal strength. And it doesn't have to be about abuse, it's about working through situations in a way that is non-detrimental to yourself or to others, because she's holding this lion down, which would be impossible, you would think, because a lion could attack her and kill her. But she's doing it with a gentle calmness and a higher strength than physical strength. So it's about connecting to your innate being and your higher self, and understanding that your strength is coming back, that you have awakening awareness, and that there seems to be a regelling of parts of you that are all being brought back together, which I think is really nice. If we come over here to the strategy card, it can literally mean you need to implement strategies in some sort of situation, and you need to perhaps rethink something. So whether this is career related, or again coming back to personal matters, or a health situation, will be independent for each and every one of you. The fact that it has the quill on the photo and like paper in the background, and it says it's a journal log, often references the need to write things down. So for some of you, taking up a journal and actually writing events in, or writing your thoughts down, could be a way of moving forward if you're in a situation that you're trying to unblock. So especially if you have anything around you and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do I get through this, or how do I get from A to B? The more we write these things down, the clearer they can become. Everything starts as a thought, and a thought then has to manifest into the physical plane. And one of the best ways of getting it to manifest is to take it from the ethers and bring it into this plane by writing it on paper. And that thought is now manifested into a reality. And from that reality, you have to then grow it and plan it and push it forward. So strategies are very worthwhile putting in place for any situation that you're unsure of how to work through. The balance card, need I say more, we've talked about it a little bit before. It can turn up when there is a court case going on, or when there is a need to sign legal documents, or to put a strategy in place. Some of you might be appearing in the family courts, for instance, or you might have to go to court. Perhaps you had a speeding fine, or there has been an issue with a business associate, or money or finances, and it needs to be sorted out at the legal end. That's sometimes what this card represents. But it usually bodes in your favour when it turns up in your reading. And of course we see the message on this particular card as what we've talked about, balance. So it's something for you to just ponder upon, and in your own mind, where is balance required at your own personal private level. The end card for your reading is a beautiful one, the Ten of Cups, and it shows there two people with their arms entwined and this beautiful rainbow and these glorious cups. So it is often a significator of happiness and companionship and support and nurture and love and harmony again. Now interestingly enough, you have this card here that is two arms and the cups, and over here we have the three arms and the cups. So again, there's kind of like a dual message going on here. There is something about some celebratory event or news or happiness or support or energy taking place for you in July. So there we are, Librans. I hope you have really enjoyed your reading. It is quite in depth, and I think, for each of you as well, when you see the cards, you need to pick up and interpret your own individual messages as well. Some of these cards will talk to you more than others, and it's at that point that you go, wow, yeah, I think I'm going to focus on that, or uplift this, or do a bit more about that. And that's what can pave your way through the month, leading you into the next month. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I love it when you leave your comments, and thank you for liking the video and subbing the channel. Remember to check your moon and rising signs as well, because there could be some really interesting messages there. So have a wonderful July ahead wherever you are around the world. Take care. Much love. Namaste.